So I'll just assume you have already watched the Bay Turtles trailer. We have finally seen it. They have been finally revealed, and that's kind of creepy.
Hi, I'm Gara, and I'm a Power G1, and I just woke up, and what better wake up than to, dive in the snow. Canadians.
Hello Internet, I hope you're having an awesome day. My name is Jordan Magia, also known as High Rain, and welcome to this safe zone where we talk about it, analyze about things and topics I would like to discuss with you, or that I just have to say out loud. Yep, introduction is still trying to be constructed. Or maybe this will be all the introduction, I don't even know. So, today I want to talk about a little bit of what's gonna be the next Bay Turtles, so the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reboot movie and all, and how even in gaming these kinds of reboots or remakes can either be good, bad, even depending of how much they separate from the main source. Now, like I said at the beginning, I don't know if you have already watched the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reveal trailer. And to tell you the truth, I grew up with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the 90s, from 80s, 90s cartoon. And that was because I was living in Colombia. The comics were not being able to, I wasn't able to get the comics in that time, and it was really impossible. And until this time, I'm starting to reading them, and they're really awesome. And they're really different from what they were from the cartoon to the comic. And I'm okay with that. Everyone was okay with that. And because they have treated the source material in a really well, in a very good way. So many people remember the Turtles because of the show. Other people remember them because of the comic. And still, you will always see like the iconic theme about this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, going back again to the trailer, when you see how the Turtles look, they don't look like anything we have seen before. And again, this is some kind of remake, and I don't understand why they decided to go on that design, on that kind of approach. For a long time they had these models or this concept art leak, or that even people were speculating, and it was hurting a lot the production or even the interest of the movie. Now, if you don't remember, or if you even check out old vlogs when the movie was being announced, we saw tons of pictures, tons of concept art that people were freaking out because they didn't look like what the main characters or the main source they were. Now, we finally see them. We finally see the Turtles and all, and everyone is not many people are happy with what they're seeing. I'll be watching the movie. I'll have to see if maybe story will trump graphics in this department, or even models or whatever. But the point is on this is that even one of the creators of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's not even happy from what they decided to do with the new design. And again, why try to fix something that ain't broken? The design for the Turtles is kind of iconic. If you characters, like main characters of video games, when they get this kind of new looks or remaster it, sometimes they lose what identifies them, what really, not exactly what it really stand for, but when you see the character, you know that it's the mascot, or it's the main character, or it's that specific person or profile that you like, that you enjoy, or it was made for the story. Great examples of these are, for example, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We had, I think the best way to go is maybe the Devil May Cry argument, where people are saying that the game will suck, it was going to be terrible, because the design of the new Dante didn't go with what he was portrayed in the last 4 games, I think, in the last 4 Devil May Cry games. And to an extent, I'll say it's true, because it's just like if you were like shaving Mario's mustache, changing the blue hedgehog's color, or even going far to just changing a lot of it, that it doesn't really look like the real thing, like what it's supposed to be, the icon, the mascot. And I think a little bit more about this is because sometimes remakes on video games or even movies go so far or separate themselves a lot from the real material source that there's only two probable possibilities happening with this. One, either it's gonna fail completely. It's gonna fail completely because when you play with the source material in the wrong way, you're basically making something that really can work. It might have the greatest over the top or well produced project, but it's gonna fail on the eyes of many people, of many fans, of whoever actually knows about the IP, the movie, or the characters. Another great example, the Resident Evil movies. Let's make it like this. Take away the name Resident Evil from the movies and just go with the concept of the story. Do you think that is gonna be like a good movie? I mean, take away the Resident Evil movie. Let's kill the Evil Dead or something like that, and you see like it's a decent zombie movie, and no one will object. But for just having the title Resident Evil, we already expect a lot from the movie, not just because of characters, not just because of stories, because what it stands for the context. Same thing with the movies. Teenage Mutant movies or games. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We're expecting that. We had that concept already. That how they look, how they act, how they are portrayed before. 90s comics, or even the new cartoons that are making a much better work than freaking Michael Bay at this time. So when it comes to this, is that sometimes fixing something that ain't broken, it's a gamble. It's a real gamble, especially if you're trying to play with nostalgia here. Now, that doesn't mean that remakes or any kind of changes or minor changes that you make to the source doesn't affect. As long as it's, I think as long as it respects and keeps like a real, true, meaningful of what the character or what the storyline was supposed to be in the what it meant to be, like what they're supposed to be, I think they're fine. Because, for example, even book adaptations, they have to actually go a little bit far from what the real book or the writer actually did. Game of Thrones, for example, really different concept. I've been reading the books, and there's a lot of content I wish they had been on the show, but sometimes it's impossible to get all that, and it's understandable. The pacing, the characters, the money, or everything that has been invested. But so far, you can actually do something well if you go apart from it. And but it all comes to how do you expose it. Hell, going back to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, there's been people that have been fixing the whole concept. I mean, there's renders of images that make the design much better and more appealing, even for me, even for somebody that I enjoy more the animatronics from the 90s movies than this CGI. I think the big question for ending this episode, it's not saying that if remastering something it's bad or good. I mean, there's been good remasters and bad remasterings of games or remakes of old franchises, even on the movies or even video games, especially video games. But I think the best way to go is that how far these projects, movies, video games can separate themselves from the main source. Again, making remakes and all that, you can do it, and if you can actually keep up what they stand for what they actually are, it can actually be really successful, or it can actually be catastrophic. In many ways, it can either go well or you'll lose the money. Just choose the best way to go. So I think that's it. So again, comment, discuss, video response. We'll be talking about it next time. I'm Gerardo Mejia, also known as Hybrid Rain. See you guys Friday?